is TWiP.
All right, folks. We are live streaming from where are we?
My studios.
Your studio in Sacramento?
Sacramento.
Yeah, Sacramento, California.
We just spent a morning doing video, not stills,
Not stills.
videos.
We were doing a super secret project is what we were doing, right? Don't tell anybody about it.
And it did not involve goats or any animals.
No, not yet. That may happen later. But yeah, so we're doing normally this critique time, which would have been about 90 minutes before this time. Troy Miller and I would have got on and done our critique. My friend here, what's your name?
Tim Engel.
Tim Engel. Tim Engel swung into action and said, after he did this photo shoot with me, said, yeah, he would step in and do the critique as well. So here we are.
Happy to join.
You're a professional photographer.
I think last time you had was like 2 years ago. You asked me to do it.
Shut up.
It was.
Would it?
No, it would have been almost three. Because I lose track because there's a year that's all gray.
Yeah.
And it was before that. So it might have even been 3 years.
Wow, we're getting old.
Yeah, I know.
We're getting old. The years are speeding up, people.
Yep.
But anyway, so we're going to do this. This week's critique topic was columns. Columns. So we're going to take a look at the columns.
Columns, like articles?
Columns as in vertical structures designed to hold something up.
Oh,
sometimes decorative.
Okay,
right?
all right.
So however these folks, the community members decided to interpret the word columns is what we're going to take a look at.
All right.
So I'm going to go ahead and screen share real quick. We'll take a look. So here we are inside of the community.
The new community.
The new community. You like it?
I am liking these much better.
They can't see where you're pointing.
Oh, that doesn't help.
Tim is pointing to this stuff on the left side of the screen. He likes the navigation better.
Yes, that's it.
All right, so let's see who's up first in here. Peter Levshin shot with his Sony 24mm.
He's a little crooked.
Yeah, I know. Don't they make pizza in there? Is that a pizza pro?
It's a pizza parlor.
Leaning pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think of this shot?
Texture, I like. Like, he got lucky with the clouds. It's like great clouds. Mm-hmm. I might take a little bit of that corner left out.
Tim is pointing right here. He believes you guys can see him when we're screen
Well,
sharing.
I can't, yeah. I don't know how this new technology works.
It's like they can't see you. Yeah. So this is distracting. This
is
little
distracting
mountain
to
area?
me.
Mm-hmm.
I like but it's a nice shot.
Yeah. No, it is really cool. It is a really cool shot. I like it. I don't know what's down here below. Have you ever been to?
I have not.
Yeah. So
I was actually planning a trip before the world changed.
Oh. Okay. Well,
we actually had tickets bought.
Now the world is thawing again. So
correct.
Maybe you can head over there. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, this is obviously the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's very. This is a travel shot, right? I love the fact that it feels like it's front lit, so we're getting kind of an unusual illumination on it.
Looks like kind of like nighttime a little bit, or sunset.
Right, yeah, or it could be nighttime with a spotlight on it or something. And I like the dark clouds in the background too, like you said, so it just makes it kind of pop.
What if he'd done it different and made it straight?
Then it would have been like everyone else. Okay. Everyone else does that. All right. So yeah, everyone's clever. Yeah, let me straighten the Leaning Tower of Pisa. All right, Peter. Thank you. Really cool shot. I wonder how this would have presented in black and white. Like does, again, we always say on these critiques, is the color
distracting?
Yeah, or is it serving the shot? In this case, do we need to know that that
I think either way. I would have liked either way.
Yeah, I agree. Very cool. All right. Peter. All right, up next, Karen Sweeney. She said, if I could talk to the animals, I'd get them to sign for me. All right, here you go. See, now this is cool. I love these abstract kind of geometric shapes. I'm curious what you're going to say about this though, because Troy Miller is a huge fan of borders and key lines around the edge of photos. He loves it. Troy, I know you're going to be watching this and listening. I'm getting a third opinion now. So what do you think?
Well, I'm fine with it on this.
Yeah.
I do prefer not having it to start with. Mm-hmm. I'm not a border guy.
It works on this. I think this shot, it actually makes it feel almost. Here we go. All right, we dropped out a little bit. So folks that are watching this, we're doing kind of a balancing act here. So I'm on a MacBook Pro that's not plugged in, but I have half a battery left, and I'm tethered to the iPhone using 5G. So, and we're streaming through Ecamm Live. So there's a lot of things, a lot of points of error that could go wrong.
A lot of things happening in a very small package.
Correct. Yeah. I'm not even gonna touch it. All right,
right.
so here we go.
So, but no, I like this shot. I love leading lines. It's like I like the fact that this, I have the center ones coming there, and then the angles that we play with. Those are nice. I mean, that's a solid image.
Yeah, this is real. I could see this printed big. This is one of those that I'd want to see
without a border. If I printed it, I would print without a border.
But you would, if you're gonna put. That's what I was gonna say before we're so rudely interrupted by AT&T. If I was gonna add a border to a shot like this and print it big, online. Of course, it's fine. You're right. But if you're going to print it and hang it in a gallery, I don't want to make the decision for the person that's hanging this on what frame should be on it. I'd want to, put a big, expensive, thick frame on that.
Right, and you'd want to have a matting, I think, on it.
Yeah, and a mat. Yeah, for sure, and a mat.
And you could turn it and it'd be a whole nother game.
Oh yeah, or even if you inverted it, it'd look like a ceiling. Yeah, this is really cool, Karen. Good job. Really good job. I like it. All right. Coming up next, Steve Van Sickle. He says, my column entry from one of my first outings with the infrared chrome, aerial chrome filter on his full spectrum Fuji. That's a lot of fulls.
What a tech.
A lot of words. That's cool.
That's super cool, yeah.
I really, really like the colors in this shot. I like this shot a lot. So yeah, I like it.
Infrared, every time it comes up, I'm like, I need to try that. Mm-hmm. But no, I love the idea that it gives such a different, otherworldly feeling to that stuff.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I know there's several folks in the community that have kind of started diving into infrared. I have not. I don't know. I want to do infrared. It's just and I have an extra camera body that I could do it.
I may have one too.
With, so there's really no excuse for
maybe we need to get a group rate and send our cameras in.
Yeah, I know Troy Miller has a group rate. I think he has a friend that could do that.
All right.
I like this shot though. Yeah, I really like this.
No, and even the writer is very interesting. Like, I think when you have somebody looking at a subject, it's a very different feeling than just the subject.
You're right, and it gives it a sense of scale too, so we kind of get a feeling for how big those columns are in the background.
Yep, good stuff today.
Yeah, excellent. All right, coming up next is Eric Pronsky. He says, sunrise at the Jefferson Memorial, the early morning sun seen through the trees is lighting up the columns. He said he brought the shadows on the Jefferson statue, but any brighter didn't look natural. Yep.
Yeah. Look at those edges on that statue. It's cool. Mm-hmm. The warmth of the sun on the face.
Yep. Yeah, this is one of those shots that you might, like all this area out here, I think it serves it. Look at that tyranny right there. It serves it, but like the main thrust of this shot for me is the light coming through onto the statue.
Yeah.
So like if you accentuate it, how would you accentuate that? Like would you?
Like if I wanted to play the flare more, you mean?
Yeah, and play with this flare down here, shining the light on the statue, and maybe vignette. Maybe a vignette would do it.
A little vignette. You could get into like luminar, and you could put a sun there.
Or hot air balloon or something?
No, just the sun, and it would just like have a little more spectacular.
No, you're serious. Yeah, you totally could do that.
Absolutely, no, I wouldn't. Like you're just, for the most part, enhancing the sun where it's at.
With luminar, if you did that and you popped a sun in here, is luminar smart enough to occlude the columns? In other words, put the sun back there?
Not in the sun, no. You'd just be getting flare, and you'd be getting.
Okay.
Like,
so you'd have to place it in there.
Yeah, and it's already kind of a circle as it is, so it wouldn't be hard to do.
Yeah. Cool. I like this shot a lot. I'm going to see if I can bring up the chat so we can see what people... Where's the chat? Here it is. Right there. Cool. Okay. Amy's in there. Yeah, look at all the people in here. All my friends are in the chat. Hey, everybody. All right. Let's continue on. Amy Brooks is up next, who's in the chat. The remains of the Temple of Hadrian, now the exterior of the Roman Stock Exchange. Oh, cool.
Interesting.
This is how
wow, and the person's kind of solid in there.
I love this. What abstract. I mean, this is intentional blur. I love it. We don't see that a lot. We don't see a whole lot of intentional blur, motion blur. We see it in motions, in motorsports shots and that kind of thing.
There's times in people stuff, but even but landscapes you definitely don't.
Yeah, and look how sharp the person is down there.
That's cool. Very cool.
This is cool. I like this. Definitely fits with the
I mean, this to me changes it from, like, if this had been totally solid, it's okay. But now this is like, you could print this. This is a print. And I'm more interested in like this with an abstract like that than I think if it was solid.
Yeah, and we have our border on there too. See? I want to hear what you guys think about borders. We're gonna have a conversation on a Friday member.
It'd almost be like a border war.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna have a border war. Yeah, photographers without borders. We're gonna call it. Amy, I love this. This is really cool. My only comments on this are that the things that catch my eye are when I see something like this with very strict kind of geometric repeating patterns in there. I'm looking at the lines here on the left and on the right, and this at the top looks like it might be a little bit shifted, a little bit, and then I look down here and this looks straight. So I don't know if that's intentional or
part of the blur dilemma.
Yeah, but other than that, yeah, this is really slick. I like it. It's very clean. All right, yeah, this is a cool shot. I like it. This is cool too. So
didn't
Nora,
we just have a discussion of this?
We did. The mixer.
Yeah.
Yeah. These rock formations. Thank you, Nora, for submitting this. This one is interesting. When I saw this one, the overall image is very muted and somewhat monochromatic or unsaturated, and then you have this pop of color.
Two people,
yeah, which is like your eye just goes right down there, and instantly you have it. Without those people in there, you wouldn't have a sense of scale. For the most part. With the people in there, now you have that pop of color, that anchor in that lower third, and and a sense of scale of how big these rock formations are.
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool. I like that. What would you change on this? Anything?
It's hard to say without looking at it bigger. I always would love, but this isn't a change thing. This is just something that I wish I had some cloud texture sometimes.
Yeah, just a little bit of cloud in here.
Yeah. I think it's, it's a great shot.
Or a Luminar hot air balloon right there.
I don't know why you have to do hot air balloons. Why is it always a hot air balloon?
I'm stuck on that hot air balloon. It looks great.
I've never put a hot air balloon in an image.
Now you will.
Just for you.
Yeah, put it in there just for me. Cool. All right, yeah, I really like this. I like this a lot. I want to do some shots like this. I'm going to Iceland later this year. I want to be able to head over there. I know we have what is it? The location here on the coast that has this rock formation. So maybe I want to go there and Iceland and get both of them. But I like that.
I think going both places is the bet.
That is the deal right there.
Any chat?
What are you folks saying here? Yes. Yep, I love it. This is really cool. Amy says, thanks for the feedback. Practicing with this idea of blurring the buildings but keeping the people unblurred. Yeah, Amy, I'm curious how you did that.
So that's a post thing?
Yeah. I mean, you could do it with a mask, It's Photoshop, right? You can do anything you want to do.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Photoshop?
Rarely.
It's really cool.
I think I still have it loaded. I put a floppy disk in the other day and had it on there.
Yeah. Remember we used to have to install Photoshop from like 20 disks?
Yeah, right? Just like feeding floppies in.
Yeah. Those are the days. All right, Mark Charette's up next. He says, columns beneath the Earth's crust. Jenolan Caves just west of the Blue Mountains, New South Wales, Australia.
Wow.
All right, let's take a look.
That's cool.
Yeah, look at that.
It almost looks like a figure somehow with a robe.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that totally does. Yeah, this is another one of those that's like question mark. Like, should this be black and white or not? I think I like it color because it gives more of a warm, molten feel to it.
Yeah, I would be interested in seeing what black and white did.
Yeah.
Because it has such interesting tonal range. And I almost feel like this, I'd still pull down a little bit. I want to get rid of the black on the edge.
Yeah, right here.
And then maybe pull down a tiny bit on the top and see what that does. It's just like this abstract.
These shots, kind of like what we talked about with Nora's shot. This shot is a cool shot, but sense of scale. I don't know how big it is or how little it is. If there was something in here to kind of tell me that this is...
To me, it's all about the texture and the shit.
Yeah.
It's not about scale necessarily.
Yeah. Size matters. All right. Moving right along. Mark Charette, thank you for that. That's a cool shot. Excuse me. That is a cool shot.
We'll have to go to Australia and he can take us there.
Here's some columns from Craig Samfley. He calls these the windy columns. Look at that.
Look at that border. Look at that big border.
Yeah, see, he's like getting heavy. This is the Troy Miller influence right here, I think. But it works. It works on this one, and I love the intentional use of motion blur to show that these guys actually spin. That's really cool. It feels like,
I like square.
Is it like a stop dark or something? I feel like it's a little bit like
muted.
half a stop dark, or maybe the contrast could be popped up a little bit. I mean,
it's a slow shutter speed, and I don't know.
Yeah, I like the composition of it. I like the composition. It's very simple: sky, windmills, foreground, right?
Big border, yeah.
Big border, right? Yep.
That's
Craig
a big
Stanfley,
border.
you're going to have to explain yourself about this border.
That's a big border.
But like, even, in all seriousness, this shot, the border works on this shot if it's destined for online only.
Yeah.
But in the real world, I definitely want a physical border on these. You know? It's just
it took a second even to realize that there's these other ones down in the
down below.
distance.
Yeah. The Where's Waldo.
Next time we can hook up the big screen.
Yeah, we'll have to do it. We'll do a group live critique with an audience.
There you go.
In the studio. All right, Craig Stanfley, thank you. All right, let's see more comments. James Glennie, columns of comfort. Now the simplicity, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what could this, you know what I see when I first look at this? Cigars.
I thought cigars.
You thought cigars too? Yeah.
Yeah, that or pipes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, and I love the fact that this is sharp, because you're definitely hunting and looking around, kind of trying to explore the image.
Mm-hmm. And we're soft over here, right? So we're soft, sharp,
Text
sharp, soft.
Yeah.
So which means this is kind of in an apex formation, I'm guessing, because these are falling off over here, and this one is sharp. So this is closer to camera than these are, I'm guessing. I don't know. But the fact that we're trying to guess makes this abstract successful.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has interest. Trying to explore it.
Yeah. Yep. I like it. This is really cool. I want to know did he say where? Let me see. No, just columns of comfort. James, I'm wondering what is this and where is it?
And how is that comfortable?
That's a mighty uncomfortable bed you got there, James Clooney. Yeah. All right. Look at this. Fills up with the close-up abstract.
Oh.
Yeah, look at him throwing the gauntlet down.
Nice.
Now this one I look at, I think strength. Like all the weight resting from this thing on this block down here. I don't really feel like I need anything in this shot to give me a sense of scale, because I feel like I already have it. Even if this is small, right? It feels large and substantial and heavy when I look at it. Yeah. And when you really look at it, it's just a series. This is almost like an art study project. It's just it's just shadows, shading and shadows.
Yeah, because you're going in the shadow line down at here. You're going highlight. Lighter here, shape here, gradient through here, lighter, gradient into here.
Yep. You could almost recreate this from scratch in Photoshop if you had some, you had
3D skills.
Well, not even 3D skills, because this is.
Oh, you mean like adding the shadows?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, this is just radial gradients and texture.
I like just Lightroom.
Yeah, you probably could. Yeah, the new Lightroom. Yeah, you totally could. Yeah, I like this. I like it a lot. Yeah, this is really clean.
It's a good interpretation.
Yep. Definitely in the vein of columns. Really cool. Really cool. Yep. All right. Stephen Sharf's up next. He says Artisa columns 1. Have you heard of this? This winery, Artisa winery? I've never heard of that.
I don't drink wine.
You don't drink wine?
I don't.
That's what's wrong with you.
No.
Wine will keep you alive or living longer. Okay, this is cool. Now I need to go to this winery. Steven, you're going to have to let us know or give us the address to this winery. I kind of want to go now. This looks cool. Well, you could go. You just don't drink
I can go.
wine.
I'll take pictures.
Yeah, and drink grape juice. We'll bring you some Welch's.
I'll bring my water.
Or bring water. There you go. I'll bring water too. I'll just have some old grapes in it. What do you think of the shot?
No, the gradients are very cool on this too. It's like the sky gradient's nice. I feel like I see ghosting around the here.
Around
A little bit.
the statue?
Some, yeah.
I don't see that. Maybe you have better eyes than I do.
Yeah, I mean, I like the depth of it. It's like the landscape, and it has this like, cement and metal. I mean, like the textures are very interesting into like woods and hills and.
Yeah, a shot like this I look at and I think technically competent. It's technically competent, but I'm looking for the subject of this. In the case of this, the entire thing could be the subject, right?
Sure.
If you were shooting this for this winery, the winery wants this view of the property, and that makes sense. From an abstract perspective, or no, not abstract, but from a photographic perspective, I start looking for the subject. Yeah. Obviously, if the client says the subject is the whole thing, then it's a win.
Yeah, because you kind of look at the foreground and some of that stuff, and then back to the center.
Yeah, because I get drawn to this middle guy here, and I'm curious about what that is. I want to know more about it. These here are kind of interesting. Including the sidewalk in there at this oblique kind of 35-degree angle or whatever here, that kind of takes me out of it a little bit.
Sure.
I want to see more of this water. The interesting things to me are these column things here, whatever those are, this thing, and then the rolling hills of vineyards in the background.
Almost interesting if you come in and go down low, and where you're using that as this massive like scale and eliminate some of that.
Yeah, or shoot it more perpendicular so these aren't at an angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, again, we're armchair quarterbacking, right? Because who knows what was there when Steven shot this.
Right, and it could have been very well for a client, and that's what they wanted.
Yep. Still could use a hot air balloon right here.
All right, well, I'll work on that.
I think I got to make the topic of an upcoming critique balloons. I feel it coming.
Right, it'll just be add a balloon to an image somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we've gone through all of them. You have a favorite in all of these?
Yeah, scroll back up.
All right.
I have a couple favorites, I think, but let me see.
You can only have one favorite child. Come on.
I'm torn between, go down. I'm kind of into Karen's.
Which one was
You went by it already.
I passed it? Oh, this one, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm into Karen's. I like the Amy's, but I think this one to me, like...
Okay, you're our guest critic. I give you the last word.
I spend the most time on this one, so I think this is my fave.
Yeah. All right, Karen Sweeney, you are the next contestant. No, you win. I like it too. This one's really cool. Really cool. So what do you have coming up? What do we have coming up next?
What's next week's?
Next week's, let's take a look. Photo critiques.
Any questions or chats?
I'll pull that up. So we just did this one. So the 21st is going to be arches.
Arches.
So we'll see what you guys come up with arches, and let us know. I think the stream looks good. I don't know. Can you guys see it? Okay. Is it coming through? Let's see. Yeah, Amy says, talking about Stevens. Yeah, I think it would be cool to have just 3 columns and the water and get rid of the rest. Yeah. There's like 20 different shots in there that you could pull out, with the vistas, depending on the gear you have and, your creativity. Yeah, this is really cool. Yeah, Jim says you're going to be the designated driver.
That's fair. That's fair.
And bodyguard. They give you a bodyguard too. So,
is there anything else you want to talk about with what you're doing with your cameras now?
Are you trying to put me on the spot?
No.
You trying to put me on the spot? Well, you can put me on the spot because these people have given me crap to no end about all my dreams and aspirations and never following through on them. So yesterday...
You heard it here first.
Yes, actually about 24 hours ago.
Yeah,
roughly?
about 24.
Yeah, about 24 hours ago, I picked up my brand new Nikon Z6 II with a 24-70 f2.8 lens.
Frederick is back in the family.
I slept with that thing on the nightstand. It was on the nightstand.
Just you're gonna reach over and tap it at night.
I did. I was like, "Is it still there? Is it real?" That thing is a work of art. I can't. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful little piece of kit. I can't. I'm looking forward to the Z9 too, because that one is like.
So I was on the cliff or the edge before the Z series came out. I was like,
of Nikon.
Yeah. I'm like, I can go anywhere now and be fine. And then the Z6 II came out, and after discussion with Troy, and I dove into that. And then the Z6 II was for me a big jump in quality. And so I'm totally happy.
Yeah. Well, my flow was Nikon for 8 years in the military.
Right.
Left the military, Nikon dropped the ball on digital, right, and just kind of fell behind, and it didn't make sense to go Nikon, so I went Canon. My first and only Canon was a Canon 10D. Canon 10D, got rid of that thing. So Canon 10D, and then I, aligned with Panasonic, and they brought me on as ambassador and all that stuff. So then all this Panasonic gear started showing up.
Right.
So it seems great to have all that. But to have all the, Micro Four Thirds gear, and I had, a bunch of lenses which I liquidated. But in retrospect, it was holding me. I don't want to say holding me back, because I was holding me back. But it didn't make me want to go out and shoot.
Right, didn't inspire you.
Yeah, and then when I did go out and shoot Micro Four Thirds, the files are smaller, and the low light capabilities weren't really there. And the Lumix brand is great for video. In fact, we used it for all the videos we record today. The Lumix brand is great for that, for video stuff, but the focusing issue is a well-known issue on Lumix. So you got to kind of work around it. So there was a lot of kind of workarounding going on and concessions going on, which made me wait this long to go back to Nikon. So I'm like, every time I wanted to go to Nikon, then the MPB sponsorship, right? So MPB sponsors TWiP. So I get on there and I'm like, okay, let me just see how much my stuff is worth, right? So I get on there and they quote them like, okay, that could easily translate.
Yep.
So, and which is, I put that plan in motion, and it's in motion. So right now, Z6 II with the 24-72 8 lens. The next one, hopefully the next lens that I'll get before going to Iceland will be that 14-24 for the wide, because I need a good wide. And then at some point after that will be the 70-200, 2.8. Somewhere in there is the portrait lens, 85. So either an 85 or 105, because there's a 105 macro Z lens too.
Yeah, the 85 is nuts. That's great.
Yeah, I may get that 85, and then that's it. No more. That's all I need, lenses. That's going to be my lens kit that I own. Now, people may send me lenses, but that'll be
the core kit.
The core kit. That's all I want. So I'm excited. All right.
Well, sorry about the buffering.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. That's me streaming through my phone. But hey, the show must go on. So it was either this or reschedule it, and I didn't want to reschedule it. So, all right, we'll leave it right there, folks. So next week, the topic is going to be arches.
Arches?
Yes, arches. So get your arches shots in there, add it to the comments on that event.
Get your borders built up on it. Troy will be back.
Yeah. You make sure you put, borders and key lines is the name of the game there. All right, we'll leave it there. Thanks, everybody, for putting up with this.
Thanks for hanging out at the studio.
Yeah, I don't normally have, I'm not normally bandwidth constrained, but for some reason this guy doesn't have Wi-Fi in his studio. I don't understand.
Money.
I don't understand how he operates. This rich, sought-after Sacramento photographer can't put Wi-Fi in this room. I don't understand. So, hence me tethering. So, anyway, all right, folks, we'll see you next time. We'll see you hopefully all at the Mixer on Friday. Yeah, it's coming up Friday. And I'm trying to wrestle a couple of, not speaker special guests, but a couple of people to come in and sit in, and, you will have seen their faces on interviews that went out over the past couple of weeks. All right, cool. We'll leave it right there.
See you guys.
Thank you. Peace out. See you next time.
This is TWiP.